Okay, guys, welcome back for kind of the episode number 2 or part 2 of the director series. So what we're going to talk today is about etiquette and fairness. Unfortunately, there are directors out there that don't run their system like as if it were a business. It should be a business. These all should be LLC companies that are running. Reason why it's helps protect the director, and also it protects you as a contestant, because you're working with someone who actually takes it seriously. There's a lot of directors I've met over the years that unfortunately essentially take people's money, and their system doesn't mean anything or doesn't do anything with that. So let's talk about a couple different things. So first thing I want to talk about is fairness. Fairness, and that comes across a couple different ways. One is that they're not a good director doesn't use parents typically for to tally scores. And the reason for that is because you don't want a parent who has a kid in the pageant to be able to rig the scores at all. So one of the directors I work for uses a outside source that doesn't have a kid competing or anything like that. That she actually pays this person to come and tally the scores at nationals. That's a great way of doing it. The other thing is when they run preliminaries, she uses her husband, and her husband doesn't have anybody to compete with, so he is unbiased. Essentially, that's what you're looking for, is an unbiased tallier. Unfortunately, I've seen people who use pageant moms or royalty moms that kind of can skew the results, either in their favor or in someone else's favor who's their buddy. You don't want to work with a director who allows that. So fairness, have a separate tallier. Now, the directors that I work with, a lot of them get to know these contestants, these kids, over time, and you want to work with a director who still keeps an unbiased view. They're more than happy to give you their opinion, but when it comes to their pageant, it's a level playing field. Just because you're buddy with the director doesn't mean your kid should have any kind of leg up. So make sure that they're fair with that. So let's talk a little bit about etiquette. Etiquette when it comes to how a director should act and behave and be respectful in a situation. One of the biggest things that I see is social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. The thing about that is that sometimes you run into directors and even contestants and pageant moms and everything who air their dirty laundry on social media. The biggest thing with this is mainly the directors. If you see a director who is complaining constantly on social media, complaining about people, complaining about their contestants, complaining about how if they're essentially playing the victim card all the time. Bottom line is if you're the director, you're the head honcho, you're the owner of the business, and if you're complaining about everybody else, you shouldn't be a director. Honestly, because it's not professional, and it makes everybody in the pageant system and even in the pageant world in general look bad. That's why a lot of people in the pageant world don't like one of the TV shows on TV, because the thing is they kind of make pageant systems look out to be a bad thing. So make sure when you're a director, you keep everything respectful, keep everything professional, keep everything that off social media from your it's fine to put a little bit of personal life on there, but make sure you're not bashing other people in the process. Okay, so the other thing about etiquette is don't advertise don't advertise promises that you can't keep. I've ran into situations where I've seen directors advertise, "Oh, we're giving away big prizes and da 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 da," and then the kids end up, getting $10 in a pencil basket. So make sure if you're advertising that you're giving away so much money, make sure you're actually doing that. If you're giving away so many big prizes, make sure you're doing that. I've seen directors who get to the pageant system and then, lo and behold, they don't have the prizes. So make sure you're talking with a director that actually does what they say they're going to do. This also leads into enforcing rules. Make sure that you have a director that enforces the rules. The ones that make exceptions that's not fair to everybody else. Making exceptions on a emergency basis is one thing, but don't allow people who are just because something's inconvenient. Everybody is making time and effort for it to be at the pageant, so make sure that you're working with a director that enforces their own rules. One thing I want to lastly talk about when it comes to etiquette and fairness, directors are people. They do make mistakes. They screw up sometimes, but it's how the director fixes it is what makes a difference. If a director owns it and screws up, make sure that you have a director that understands that as long as they fix it, it's okay. Unfortunately, there are some directors who will make mistakes, but they'll blame other people for their mistakes. They won't own it as a business owner. They'll actually cause more issues and cause more drama with that because they don't want to take the ownership and responsibility of the screw up. So make sure you're working with the director who is fair, who has good morals and good respectful etiquette values, just so that way that everybody has a fair chance at getting that crown. So I hope this helps you guys out. We're going to probably do a part 3 of directors because directors are really such a big key on making a successful pageant. So I hope this helps out. Thank you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share for this video because not enough people know about what to do and not to do. So make sure you're helping them out. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on video number 3.